This E3 update is presented by State Farm.
All right, day one of E3, the Microsoft press conference just ended. I gotta say, it was even more underwhelming than I actually expected. This is one of the most cautious press conferences I've ever seen. And in light of the problems that Microsoft has been happening since they made their announcement only a few weeks ago about the Xbox One, that they didn't come to it with a little bit of energy and a little bit of personality, I don't think is gonna do them any favors. One thing they did do, they promised to show games, and they showed a lot of games. But underneath the surface, I didn't see much energy. It was really until we finally saw Titanfall from Respawn at the very end that it became clear what had been missing for the rest of the press conference. All 90 minutes of it was that sense of energy, that sense of excitement, that something new and special was somewhere on the horizon, was going to come with the launch of a new console. I fully expected to see something from Halo. I fully expected to see something from Rare, and we got Killer Instinct. Fine, you guys can stop emailing me about it. But all of it seemed less than attention grabbing, I guess is the word that I would actually use. They're safe games. They're games that aren't showing any application of what we saw 3 weeks ago up in Redmond, Washington, with the cloud, with all of these interesting dynamic qualities that are inside the game. These look like very pretty versions of games that have come before. And this comes to what was probably one of the most surprising things of the day, the price. I did think that $499 was going to be the MSRP for the Xbox, but I did think that Microsoft would actually say, hey, with the 2-year subscription to Xbox Live, you can buy it for $300. Get some lower price point out there, and they didn't. Not that they had to, but if you're going to say, if you buy this on day one in 2013, you're going to be paying $499, there should be a compelling reason as to why. Dead Rising 3 looks to be a launch title, but some of those signature franchises, be it Halo, be it Titanfall, they're coming out in 2014. Is there a compelling case that they made to buy the Xbox One on day one? I have to say no. Microsoft has always been very on message when it comes to these type of events. But here it was so on message, it felt unenthusiastic. Things like the live streaming and the partnership with Twitch should have been something remarkable, but the way that they presented it was almost matter of fact, and amongst all the games that they were showing, some which really didn't seem to register with anybody in the audience, none of it really stood out as giving Microsoft an identity. And this is where I think they have their biggest challenge. Despite the success of the Xbox the past generation, there's never been a sense of what it's all about, as opposed to Sony, which has always cultivated a certain type of edge, a certain type of identity with their brand. This is one of the best opportunities that Microsoft had to do that, but by keeping that plastic smile on, by not addressing the outstanding questions about used games, about the always online and what that's going to do for the user, I think that they further set themselves apart from that key demographic that they need to buy this at $499, and that is the hardcore gamer. Now, to be fair, we're going to see 3 more press conferences throughout the day, and I have my skepticism about what we're going to see from Sony, who obviously have to make a case with the PlayStation 4. But as it stands now, it's not clear what next-generation gaming is all about, other than being really expensive.
Rev3 knows games, and State Farm knows insurance. With agents available 24/7, 365 days a year, visit statefarm.com to find an agent and get to a better state.
Okay, those are my initial thoughts. Max and Tara are back at our special apartment pad checking this out, and they're going to be putting up their thoughts. Also, we have EA, we have Ubisoft, and we have Sony for this day. I'll be giving my thoughts on all 3 of those, so just keep on checking back, and make sure you subscribe. YouTube.com/Rev3Games.